It is absolutely preposterous that the government is here laying out a programme as its ministers are resigning and a large proportion of the party is saying that the Prime Minister needs to go. The whole thing is totally illogical. Either Labour MPs agree with this agenda, in which case, why are they trying to get rid of the Prime Minister, or they don't agree with this agenda, in which case, what on earth are we all doing here? It is time to be brutally honest, Mr. Speaker. It is time to be brutally honest. The country is angry with the entire political class. All of us here. They are not happy with how we have been doing politics. It is time to get serious. I will give way. I will give way.
The Right Honourable Lady seeks to lecture us on why it is that everyone is so fed up with the political class, but uses this opportunity not to lay out what the Conservatives would do. But to spend her time insulting everybody on this side. Surely that's not the way to proceed.
Before we continue, do us a little favour by subscribing to the channel, because over 98% of you watching haven't subscribed. It costs you nothing, not even a penny, to join this channel. Have you subscribed? Thanks so much.
Oh, I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. There is plenty more coming. There is plenty more coming. And the Honourable Lady says she's getting a lecture. She is getting a lecture. She is getting a lecture. We're all getting a lecture because we are legislators of the United Kingdom. We were sent here to fix difficult things, not focus on our personal hobby horses, ranging from the petty to the puerile. I would say to members opposite, you don't need to be scared of the member for Clacton. I'm not. He is not the cause of Britain's problems. He is a symptom. No. They are still, Mr. Speaker, they are still delusional. He is a symptom of the failure of the political class to focus on what matters. If you fix the problems that people care about, he goes away.
You saw it. You actually saw it. There she was, standing up in the House of Commons, laying into the government with the kind of energy that makes you put your biscuit down and actually pay attention. And fair enough, because what was happening in that chamber was, by any standard, absolutely extraordinary. The government was up there presenting its programme, its grand vision, its here's what we're doing speech, while ministers were resigning left, right and centre, and a significant chunk of their own party was openly saying the Prime Minister needed to go. Just let that sink in for a moment. They were standing there, laying out a programme, while their own side was falling apart around them. You genuinely could not make it up. And that's exactly the point that got made, loudly and clearly, because someone had to say it. The whole thing was described as totally illogical, and honestly, it's hard to argue with that. Think about it. Either Labour MPs agree with this agenda, in which case, why on earth are they trying to remove the Prime Minister who is delivering it? Or they don't agree with this agenda, in which case, what are they all doing standing up and pretending everything is fine? There is no version of this where the situation makes any logical sense. You're either behind the programme or you're not. You can't simultaneously be cheering the plan and plotting to remove the person presenting it. That's not politics, that's pantomime. But here's where it gets really interesting, because the speech didn't stop there. It went somewhere that, if we're being honest, needs to be said out loud in that chamber for quite some time. The country is angry, not just a bit not mildly disappointed, genuinely angry, and crucially, that anger is directed at the entire political class. Not just one party, not just one leader, not just whoever happens to be making headlines that week. All of them, everyone sitting in those green benches. The public, according to this speech, is not happy with how politics has been done. Full stop. Now you can imagine how well that went down. When you stand up in the House of Commons and essentially tell everyone in the building that they are part of the problem, you're not exactly making friends. But the argument was being made clearly and without apology. It is time to get serious. That was the phrase. Time to get serious. Not time to score points, not time to play games, not time to focus on petty hobby horses, time to actually deal with the difficult things that the public sent these people there to fix. And then, as these moments tend to go, someone tried to intervene. A government MP stepped in, suggesting that rather than lecturing everyone about why people are fed up with politics, perhaps the Speaker could tell us what the Conservatives would actually do instead. It was a reasonable enough challenge on the surface, the kind of interjections that sound sharp in the moment, and it landed, as these things do, with a ripple of noise from the benches behind. But here's the thing, the response was not what you might call a graceful retreat. "Oh, I'm not done yet," that was the line, delivered with enough emphasis that you felt it. "I'm not done yet." There is plenty more coming, and there genuinely was. Because the point being made wasn't just about party politics or point scoring. It was about something bigger. We are legislators of the United Kingdom. That's the job. That's what everyone in that room was sent there to do. Not to focus on personal hobby horses. Not to get distracted by things that range, as the speech put it, from the petty to the puerile. The job is to fix difficult things. That's it. Now, at this point, the speech turned its attention to a particular figure sitting somewhere on the other side of the chamber, the member for Clacton. And this is where the argument took a turn that was both sharp and, in its own way, quite measured, because the claim wasn't that this individual is the cause of Britain's problems. It was very deliberately the opposite. He is not the cause, he is a symptom. That distinction matters enormously. If you spend all your time and energy being frightened of one person, pointing at them, blaming them for everything, you've completely missed the diagnosis. The real issue is the failure of the political class to focus on what actually matters to people. And that was the crux of the whole thing. That was the argument sitting at the centre of everything being said in that chamber. If the political class, all of them across all parties, actually fix the problems that people genuinely care about in their daily lives, then the kind of political figures who thrive on public frustration and disillusionment simply stop thriving. They lose their oxygen. The symptom disappears when you treat the disease. You don't treat the disease by obsessing over the symptom. The response from the other side, apparently, was not particularly gracious. The word delusional was used. They are still delusional, came the assessment. And given everything that had just been laid out, the resignations, the internal chaos, the programme being delivered while the foundations were visibly shaking, it's the kind of word that sticks. What you witnessed in that chamber was something genuinely rare. Someone standing up and saying clearly and without much diplomatic softening that the entire system needs to take a hard look at itself. That the anger people feel is real, it is earned, and it is not going to be solved by more of the same. It was blunt, it was sharp, it caused a bit of noise. And whether you agree with every word of it or not, the core of the argument is sitting there waiting for someone, anyone, to actually act on it. Fix the things that matter. Everything else follows.